Our tour got canceled. I was pretty upset. Nothing felt the same. Monkey Bear just didn't feel like the same kind of partner. Trying to wave my wand wasn't as much fun. Honestly, even some of my favorite activities, like putting on lotion in the morning, just didn't feel the same. But everything kind of changed when we decided to launch Camp Congregation. You're about to see. See, when we started brainstorming for this thing, everything that was coming to my head, I just wanted it to be perfect. How could we teach America and heal the world?
The world.
And I wanted the ideas to be perfect. Nothing was perfect, except for the ideas that we settled on, which is what you're about to see. What to wear, who to make it with. Hey! Now that we know who we're doing it with, now that we know what we're gonna wear, we just needed the perfect location. Mom? Mom? Chicken again? Mom, come on. It's not about the food. I've always been a great storyteller. Come on. We're getting close to go time. 5, 4, 3, 2,
1, Carlos!
This is Camp Congregation, featuring your camp counselors, Ben Flock, Corbin Jones, Alfonso Horn, Paul Sam Trombone, Dave Liner, Dr. Molly Miller, and your camp director, Sammy Miller.
be afraid to clap at home. How's everybody doing? Wow, look at all these wonderful people tuned in. Taylor, hi. Spencer, Max, Brandon, all these friends. Benjamin, hello, hello. Thank you. We do sound good. We're going to get into a whole bunch of stuff this week. And next week, a little background here. Many of you know, but our tour was postponed. We had a long tour for our Leaving Egypt record. And it's not happening. So we thought what we could do with all of us here and all of you at home, especially all those students who are now not in school. So I called my best friends while keeping social distance. This is Corbin Jones. Hey, Corbin. Call my sister Molly. Juan Carlos. And I said, let's make a show. Let's make a daily show for folks at home that they can watch. And our friends in New York are going to be joining us a bunch, the other members of the congregation. But first, I just want to. But can we run it back? Can we run? Oh, we can't. It's live.
Run it back!
So we're going to be talking about jazz this week. So first thing I want to do is let's figure out how jazz was made. And it was probably made using a lot of
Improvisation.
Let's go learn about jazz right now out in the field to one of our favorite reporters. Let's go to Mason City, Iowa. Come on, I'm going to teach you the history of jazz. Jazz started right in this country in the city of New Orleans, right? Not Cleveland, not Phoenix, not Los Angeles. Why? And it's because of its rich cultural history. So in 1718, the French show up. Duke of Orleans is like, find me a new place. Let's name it New Orleans. It's a port city. It's a river city. Got a lot of people in and out. And the French show up. They're celebrating in 1718, and they're playing their French music. It sounds like this. So the French, come on. French show up in the 1760s, 1763 to be exact. French loses this colony to the Spanish. They go to war. Boom, boom, boom. Pew, 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 pew. And the Spanish show up, and they have this new kind of music, this kind of Spanish-tinged element. So you have the French music, and now the Spanish music, which sounds like this. Come on. So the French music, now we got the Spanish music. Those are European music. But the thing about New Orleans that only happened in New Orleans, in the entire actually New World, that we know about cultural history in the New World, slaves, all their traditions were taken away. But in the city of New Orleans on Sundays, in this place called Congo Square, tiny square, not much bigger than this, bigger than that, but not that much bigger, slaves would get together and they would play these African rhythms, this 6/8 clave in Congo Square.
Are you guys talking about Congo Square?
French music, Spanish music, the West African music, European music, smashing together with African music. But that's not jazz, right? So the person who brings it together, come on, I want to tell you, we're going to the library. The person who puts that music together is someone I'm going to introduce you to right now. One of my personal heroes. This person is born at the turn. Oh. Come here. Come here. I want to show you something really important. Someone really dear to my heart. This is Louis Armstrong. Let me hear you say Louis. Let me hear you say Armstrong. Let me hear you say Louis Armstrong together. Great. You did great. So Louis Armstrong is born at the turn of the 20th century. He's born in the city of New Orleans with this rich cultural history. All these different elements. And the thing that he's going to do is he wants to play the trumpet. But as a little kid, he doesn't have any money. He grows up in this neighborhood called the Battlefield. He doesn't have access to instruments. Come on. Don't. It's a lot. I know it's a lot of immaterial, but you got it. So what he does, as he's a tween, he gets in trouble with the law a little bit, and he gets sent away from his family to the school. So this is a New Orleans school for kids who are in troublemakers. And there they have a band. And that band is playing Louis' favorite kind of music and the most popular music in America at the time, right? And this music is march music. John Philip Sousa, it's like, woo, John Philip Sousa. He's like the, whatever, insert your favorite person who's alive today, who's a musician. And they're playing this march music. And march music sounds like this. And Louis in the band, and he's playing trumpet. But rather than doing what's written on his piece of paper, following the sheet music, he does this thing called improvisation. He starts making up his own stuff, and it sounds like this.
Woo! And
Wow. What incredible learning. What incredible information. As always, like I said, over here on the right of your screen, you can put in questions. We'll try to get to them. Like someone asked for us to come back to Italy. Yeah, we're going to do that. Big ups. Hello to all the folks in DeKalb. But right now I'm going to throw it over to my dear friend Corbin.
Who, me? Nice. So we just learned about Louis Armstrong, right? The birth of jazz, Louis Armstrong, and this thing, improvisation. You saw in the end of the video, Fonz, Ben, and Sam, they each took a break. We went bop, and then they went shadoo-la-bee-ba-doo-ba-ba-doo, wow, right? What is that stuff? That's improvisation. We're basically just expressing ourselves like you do in English when your mom's like, dinner's ready, and you're like, I don't feel like dinner. You're just expressing yourself. So that's what we're gonna do musically, using notes and all this different stuff. Louis did it in a really cool way on his version of Mahogany Hall Stomp, and I think we're gonna post that recording in our Spotify playlist, so be on the lookout for that link. But here's our version of Mahogany Hall Stomp. We're gonna do his cool thing that he does when he improvises on that song, and he plays just one note. Huh? Aren't there like 17 notes? He only uses one of them? Yeah, we're gonna try that right now on our version of Mahogany Hall Stomp. Come on, Molly.
Oh, what's that? I'm getting word from New York City. Sam wants to chime in here. Sam, is that you? Are you there? Sam? Sam?
Hey guys, this is Tall Sam here. I love everything that you're saying about Louis Armstrong, about how he took all those different styles of music and helped to put them together to create jazz. But I think you're missing out on my favorite part about Louis Armstrong, which is his individuality, his spirit. When I hear Louis Armstrong play, every single note you can tell that it's Louis Armstrong. Whether he's playing something really loud and happy, or he's playing something kind of sad and somber, or being a little trickster, which Louis was known to do from time to time. Every single thing that he plays, you can tell that it's Louis, and you can tell that he has an intent behind it. And I think that's really, really cool, and it's part of the reason that I love listening to him. So don't forget about that when you're talking about old Louis. All right, back to you guys.
Wow. Sam, thanks for helping us out there. Always good to hear from such a tall person. I want to go back and just figure out what the heck Molly just did, because I know I get really scared when I solo. And Corbin, you're totally frightened always. He's a really big scaredy cat.
I mean, there's a lot of notes. It's intimidating.
But Molly, what did you just do? Because you seem like you weren't that afraid.
Oh, I was very afraid. And that's actually something that helps me, knowing that everyone's afraid. But soloing doesn't have to be scary. I think it can get really overwhelming. Improvisation and soloing become these big, scary concepts when it's just a way to express yourself. And so we don't have to get bogged down by so many different scales, so many different chords, so many different transcriptions. All we have to do is actually play one note. And like Corbin said earlier, Louis Armstrong did that really beautifully on his version of Mahogany Hall Stomp that we will post on Spotify. So I want to actually take it back a little bit. So the top of the show, we played a song called Oh When the Saints Go Marching In. Juan Carlos, will you pull up that chart? Thank you. So there's a chart right here for your education. It will be also available, so keep an eye out for that.
Nice.
And there's a couple things here. There are music notation and some numbers happening and some chords. So first I want to talk about the major scale. While this is maybe a review for you, it's a good thing to know when it is the foundation of a lot of these musical concepts. So let's look at this whiteboard here. It's made up of 7 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, back to 1, back to the root. And it's made up of different intervals, whole steps and half steps, whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. So between 3 and 4 and 7, back to 1, are the half steps. And we're going to actually use the first 5 notes in Oh When the Saints Go Marching In. So the first 5 notes of the major scale is the entire... That's all you need? Yeah, that's literally the entire melody is the first 5 notes. Even Sammy, who is a drummer by nature... could do that in my training.
And by years of study at the Juilliard School. Thank you, Molly.
Anyways, even Sammy could do it. So you guys could probably do it too. But what we're going to do actually is and one other thing, because I know there's a bunch of numbers on this paper. So real quickly, if you have questions, please let me know. You can type them in. You can also hit us up online as well about what I'm talking about, because we can go deeper into it. But there's some numbers. So the numbers above the melody notes are the numbers of the melody, whether it's the root, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth. And then the numbers next to the chords are the chords. There's the 1 chord, which in this case is C, the 4 chord, which in this case is F, and the 5 chord, which is in this case G. It's really good to be using numbers. We're going to talk about it over the next couple weeks. And one other thing to be aware of, this is in concert, and I bet there's some sax players, trumpet players, etc. out there who are not in concert. This is another reason to be working your numbers. So we're going to do Oh When the Saints Go Marching In right now, and we're all going to choose one note from the scale to improvise with, and focusing on 3 different elements: rhythm, interaction, and phrasing. And keep an eye out, because I want you guys to do that and post your videos, #CampCongregation at SMCongregation. We want to hear you doing that. It doesn't matter your level, because this can be really challenging to do, whether you're a beginner or a super advanced player. Make a compelling 1-note solo. You boys ready?
Say what?
One of the Saints. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I'm gonna do the fifth.
Whoa.
Corbin Jones, you choose a note. Any of them
I'll
are
do
okay.
the 6.
Sammy.
All right. Let's keep playing before. On the piano and the drums together.
Yeah.
Do both at the
Okay.
same time.
All right, I'll try to.
This is 2020, folks.
6th and 5th. I'm gonna do the root. All right. 1.
Start over.
Hey. Amazing.
Dang.
When we come back from our short little commercial break, oh, that means it's a commercial break. We'll take some of your questions, so feel free to post.
Hi there. If you're watching this, and you probably enjoy the content we create. And if you enjoy it, you're probably wondering, well, how does it get made? And it's made with the generous support of viewers like yourself. So, if you like what we're doing, go ahead right now and check out what's going on at the bottom of the screen. Check out in the body of this YouTube description and support us. Anything makes a difference. So, we hope you enjoy.
Important words from our important sponsors. And now I actually have one question. I just want to go to Molly before we keep going, and which is, how does someone practice at home? If you're alone, you don't have the access of 2 other musicians, what does someone do?
We actually have the hookup for you. So there is going to be a play along track that's available on our YouTube. So check that out. You'll have 4 choruses of Oh When the Saints to play along with. So Shed the Melody, the one note solo concept, and whatever else you're working on. And please post hashtag Camp Congregation at SM Congregation. We'd love to check it out. Yeah.
Cool. We got a great another question here from Ryan, who asks about, so how do you all think about phrasing? How do we improve upon it? Corbin, I think you're actually pretty special at phrasing. How do you think about that kind of stuff?
I am special. Phrasing for me is less about something that I've seen on paper and in your funky, swingy stuff ends on the and of 2 or something like that. If I can sing a cool idea, then I think that's probably the right way to go with what I'm playing. So if I hear somebody playing boo, 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 then I can go boo, 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 boo. That sounds pretty cool. That's going to be my phrase when I play whatever my solo idea is. I think start by doing what you would sing, because that's the most natural thing. We might talk about that later this week.
Nice. And we'll get to some more of these, but for right now, we want to bring you into a new segment, which is going to be Corbin's Corner. We go back to Corbin in the corner.
Nobody puts Corbin in the corner. Hey guys, it's Corbin's Corner. I'm just going to share with you tips, things that I've learned, things that I wish someone had told me when I was in music school. The first one for today is we are not jazz robots. We're people. And this idea, when I say it to myself, I call it zoom out. Like when you want to make a picture smaller, a lot of the times we're way zoomed in and we're focusing on one little problem. But I would actually zoom out. And that is the idea of, instead of all the fast notes that robots think are awesome, or instead of really focusing on one specific thing that robots think are awesome, we have to take breaks and eat movies and watch food. I think those are important human things to do. This morning, I was playing A half whole diminished over A7 chord and just trying to come up with cool patterns. And I got frustrated by the shape of one pattern, and I had to take a break. And I think that's an okay human thing to do. If you're doing something new, like this stuff that we're teaching you, don't think that, oh, I have 8 hours free today, so I just have to spend 8 hours of alone time in my closet, literally shedding inside of a wood shed because there's no people in there. I think you'll have a better practice time if you take 20 minutes of really focused practice, maybe 5 minutes. Set your timer for 5 minutes, and then set it the same timer for 5 minutes of just break time. And remember to talk to people. Remember that what we're doing on these instruments is human stuff and not robot stuff. And if you're super advanced, I would also challenge you. Robots think that fast notes are the meaning of life, and humans realize that connection and emotion are the meaning of life, etc., etc., etc. This has been Corbin's Corner. See you guys next time. Before I leave you, I just wanted to introduce this next guy. His name is Dave, and he and I have spent a lot of time in the car together when we're touring, and he's hit me to a lot of cool new music. He's going to introduce us to My Music Crush, where we talk about people who have influenced us. Come on, Dave!
Hey, Camp Counselor Dave here. My musician crush would have to be Oscar Peterson. He's the one that made me so excited to learn the piano. So the first reason I want to talk about is just that he makes you want to tap your toes, want to tap everything you got. His music just feels good. Also, he's not afraid to use repetition. And you can use that repetition to make beautiful, beautiful sequences. Lastly, he uses really subtle arranging techniques.
Dave. Thanks, Dave. He's one of my best pals in the world, and I hope he's staying safe out there in New York City. We're coming to the end of the first episode here. Again, feel free to always post your questions. We'll get to them, if not today, tomorrow. This is a total experiment, right? We've never done a live stream ever. We really don't make that many videos, even though we're super personable, yeah. But it's not about that. It's about, even in these times when the world feels like it's going insane, we can come together for just a little brief period, and we can share the things we love and the things that make us feel better. And for me, that is playing music with my dear friends. And for all of you guys, seriously, this is our time, so I'd love to get to know all of you. Max, and Benjamin, and Kathleen. Ben, hey. Ryan, Fonz. Fonz, did you submit your video yet for tomorrow? It's not about that. So we're gonna play one more song, and again, tag us and all that kind of good stuff at SM Congregation. And if you want to contribute, below. We lost the whole tour, so we're out here doing this thing. And thank you. If not, just tell a friend. That's the most important thing. Max asked, how much time do you spend practicing versus doing drills? I know it's kind of anticlimactic after that beautiful speech, but Molly, how much time do you spend doing those two things versus each other?
For me, creating music is an essential part of my practice. And so I don't necessarily always spend a ton of time drilling. For me, getting in the space of creating music, and so maybe I'm like learning a new song, and maybe it's like the half whole scale, that I'm using that scale, and I'll try to like create new patterns. Like that's a perfect example, but still doing it in a song form, because always making sure music is at the forefront helps me have a really good relationship with my instrument.
Here we go. So again, guys, see you tomorrow, same time, same place. We're going to take you home with one more. And since today's kind of artist of the day is Louis Armstrong, we're going to play one of the songs that he made famous, which is called Dream a Little Dream of Me. Does the drum start it? You want to start it?
Maybe Molly should start it.
Maybe Molly should start it. See y'all next time.